So one thing I get asked a lot is, how do I research or look up permits for construction and updates, patents, trademarks? These are just some of the things I do pretty much every single day. Like I might start my day, I'll scroll through Twitter and then I'll open up, as you do, the Orange County government website for permit tracking, like this one. And this one is good specifically for looking up new construction. So I use it mainly to check in on Epic Universe. And I do it by searching the parcel. It's the easiest way for me. 31 23 29 000 0008. And then click search. And then there is one new one. All the recent permits for this parcel. And this parcel in particular, I have a cheat sheet here, is this gigantic one for Epic Universe. See, 31 23 29 00008. This is a cheat sheet from a permit that was posted 2019 that changed all the parcel designations over to what Universal wanted them to be for construction. So this big one became even bigger right here, and that's the main theme park areas. But then there are other ones that are also useful, like checking in on these two here in case there's development for one of these hotels. And then there's also this hotel here at the back of the park, has its own parcel, but this one's similar. It's 31 23 29 010. So like just change this here to 10, and hasn't been updated yet. When they go and start building that hotel, then this is where the permits for that will go on. But if we wanted to look at an example, electrical, plumbing, mechanical. A lot of this has been backstage stuff. Project 931, backstage stuff, cooling tower. 940 is actually a new number. I'm assuming it's backstage. Lift station. Yeah. Project 904, though, is actually Nintendo. That was all the way back in a year ago, October 2010. But looking at it, you can see that it's for Building 1310, Project 904, which I have a cheat sheet for project numbers, and that is Nintendo. I like how it's recreational, social, sauna. I don't believe it's a sauna, so it's probably recreational. It's for new construction, and usually, if you go and take your time clicking on every single one of these reviews here, sometimes you learn some really interesting things about this particular project or this particular building number. Like, see this? I clicked on utilities review, and if you read all of this, you might learn interesting information like number of seats in a restaurant or number of toilets in a water closet. This is where we get all those little details, usually in this comment section here, either in a utilities review, go to stormwater review, nope, not required, fire review, nothing. So it's a lot of tedious clicking and reading, but sometimes you get lucky and you'll see detailed information. You can also click on this. These links will give you a PDF, which if you open, will give you some notes. Sometimes you can get lucky and get a copy of plans from that. Sometimes you get lucky. Lately, I've been checking the Orange County Comptroller site for, this is where existing buildings tend to get notice of commencements for refurbishments, new air conditioning, demolition permits get posted through here. So if a building exists, but they want it to not exist anymore. And I just search for Universal City Development Partners Ltd, which is the company that fills out all the paperwork for Universal Studios, Florida, Universal Orlando. And there's actually a new one here. Let's see what this one's for. I have it sorted so the newest is at top. And just right here, click View Images, and I get a full PDF of this, which is probably a notice of commencement. Yes. And look, it's for installation of new signage for Quiet Flight. That's the store, the surf shop in City Walk, and it's under refurbishment right now. So now, is there a permit number? It's handwritten in here. See, this permit number, building 2021, 2716, 2716. So I'm going to go now to my next page, which is the City of Orlando permit lookup. And, right, search. Now using the commencement, it tells me what to look up. So here it is, Quiet Flight renovation signage, the address, and some information. If you go to, sometimes you get lucky if you go to something like this and it'll tell you what was or wasn't, reviewed or approved, and you might actually get some more information. Sometimes you get a whole block of text up here and you get lucky, but it doesn't look like there's much going on. It's just, a new sign. But sometimes also you'll get demolition permits. What was this one? This one was just a few days ago at the end of October. And this was building 233 ceiling replacement. And looking at a cheat sheet for Islands of Adventure, building 233, I believe, is Mythos. So they're working on ceiling work for leaky ceiling in Mythos. And yeah, you can look up this permit. Ooh. There you go. Ceiling, nothing that interesting. But like I said, sometimes it is very interesting. I'm still refreshing this every single day in case I see demolition permits for Fear Factor Live. And it will show up here eventually. Most of the time, though, it's just air conditioning repair or smoke detector replacements, boring stuff. But every once in a while, you hit gold. And speaking of hitting gold, one other site I check is the e-permitting site for South Florida Water Management District. And I don't know why it's South Florida Water Management District when we're dealing with Central Florida, but they're the ones that handle drainage permits and water table information for Central Florida. So if I put in company name, Universal City, easy peasy, search records. Again, with the newest at the top. There was a new one just October 28th. And it says here, Project 304 Master Drainage System. Project 304 was the original project number for all of Epic Universe. And it's still used that way when it's talking about utilities and drainage. So I'm going to click on this. And what's interesting about this site is that they upload everything. No need to request it from the city. It's all up here. So you can actually look on the right and see which ones are like the largest. They're usually going to be the goodest. So like this one, diagrams, plans. Yeah, I'll look at that one. Sure. Downloading. So here is drainage plans updated as of last month for Epic Universe. And you might have seen me share this in an article and on Twitter the other day. It is a really good view of the backstage areas and a really good view of the parking lot for Epic Universe. Guest parking lot, guest entry. There's the like parking booths. There's also like drop off here. a bus drop off here, a little road connecting to this resort in the future. All of this color coded. It's so good. Like, look at there's Super Nintendo World and there's monsters. I like how it's color coded too, because the backstage areas is like this purpley color, and you can see this backstage area and this backstage area and this backstage area is the same color, trying to say that this is not part of the theme park itself. People were asking, what is this dark black line here? And if you were to look at the next pages, you'll see that it is a separation of basin drainage for this pond, Lake 4. They're saying that within this parcel here, this is the cutoff for where water will seep into the ground to here. And then there's also a thick black line around these ponds and thick black line around these ponds. So, because these are drainage plans. But I just like how every land has its own color. There's the Dragon's Land. Now, of course, I actually went through all of this document. Well, that's kind of neat. And I read all the notes and went through bit by bit just to make sure there wasn't anything really juicy or information there. But no, just mostly water basin information. I think Tommy Hawkins pointed out the way it worked was like the water seeps into the ground here, seeps into the ground here, seeps into the ground here. And every time it seeps, because right over here is Shingle Creek, which is runoff into the water supply. So every time it seeps through one of these, it gets cleaner and cleaner until it gets to here. So like a lot of thought was put into where the theme park goes and where the water goes so that we're not polluting the earth. So that's essentially, and you can go through, there's folders and folders of different things. This one just shows you where in Central Florida this property is located. And if you read all the documents, they refer to these maps as visual aids. So that's for pretty much it for permits. You know, new construction, Epic Universe, refurbishments and demolishments. Is that a word? For the existing stuff. Once you know a permit, and then the water drainage. And then just for fun, and I don't do this every day, but maybe like once a week, I like to look up patents. Google Patents is really easy. Again, Universal City. It's really easy for viewing them. Let's refresh this. Because you can view the individual pictures. But if you wanted to see them in real time, the actual United States Patent and Trademark Office has them updated in real time. So if you're looking for Universal City Studios, this is now the newest, or at least the most recently updated, not necessarily just the newest. And then you can click on them. The problem with the official website is you can't just look at all the pictures. You have to download the actual PDF. Do full document. Yeah, it's right there. It used to be you could look at the drawings. Yeah, see, it's just a PDF now. And then here's the patent, the full patent. Which, again, I only do like once a week because it takes a long time to read. This one in particular is fun because it looks like a power-up band thing for Super Nintendo World. Maybe for Donkey Kong, where you have some kind of mallet and you hit some kind of object. There you go, ding, 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 and you earn some kind of score. Remember, the drawings don't necessarily mean that's exactly what it'll look like, but if you read all the words, it sounds pretty Donkey Kong-esque to me. But if you were to look for patents in Google, but you can see how much easier it is to look on the Google Patents. You just look right there and you can see all the pretty pictures and you can read all the text. But I usually end up downloading all the PDFs anyway. Ride with rotating lift. I want to see this ride system get used. It's so crazy. And you can see too, I'm in Japan, but you can see who created it. Gregory Hall is the one of the inventors here. The the guy from Universal Creative that designed the roller coaster trains for lots of the last roller coasters, and the head of Velocicoaster. You can see his name right here. What happens if we click on him? You can see all the projects he's worked on. And these tower projects actually was rumored to be being worked on for Pokemon in Japan. I don't know if it's this one in particular, but this one does have augmented reality and targeting systems. And there was supposedly an augmented reality attraction for Pokemon being developed. And because they're short on space in Japan, it's thought that maybe it was going to be a tower. So that this could have been the Pokemon ride. Looking back. And the last thing I wanted to look at was trademarks. Yeah, I'm aware. There we go. Trademarks. Again, Universal City. Owner name. Submit. It's in order, but they renew trademarks quite often. So you'll see different categories and different names being renewed. But this one, I think, was a new one that Scott Walker pointed out. Filed October 15, 2021. Once you find one, I like to take the serial number and actually bring it over here. So this is just easier to read. It gives you a little logo there, what it looks like, the name, the type of mark it is, and then what will it be used for? What will it be used for? It'll be used for providing of food and drink via concession stands, service counters, food kiosks, and food stalls, snack bar services. So we're not sure. Maybe it's a window service name for the one in Orlando or Hollywood or even Beijing. Maybe they're branding the windows themselves, or maybe we'll see little carts in the theme parks or around City Walk where they have little milkshake carts or kiosks. They can, because they've trademarked that name, just milkshakes, not just the whole emporium. Yeah, so that's neat. You can see like Taste of Universal, food festivals. Jaws, Minion Cafe that opened in Hollywood, Raptor Squad for toys, Jurassic World Beyond the Gates. I like how this is trademarked. From Illumination, the studio that brought you Despicable Me, The Secret Life of Pets, Sing, and Minions. Ben the Bao opened at City Walk Orlando. Here you go. So you can see as they appear, and you can also, this is where we saw Epic Universe and Fantastic Worlds before they ever used the name. They trademarked it. And that's it. So permits, patents, trademarks. Fun stuff. And yeah. Okay, bye.